Today's daily recap is for BTG Beyond the Gate, August the 8th, 2025. Today's episode was so-so. I mean, let me dive right in and I'm going to tell you what I was disappointed in. Disappointed in the fact that Naomi bought Haley's story. Naomi standing there watching her break it to Bill, and now, oh, I lost to Bill. And she couldn't even really pull no tears. Now, for this to be her first pregnancy that she carried 12 weeks, there should have been some tears. She didn't have none. Naomi standing there watching her. Bill showed more emotion than Haley ever did. So Bill's gonna go make some tea. So Naomi sits down and says, okay, while my father's gone, you better talk fast. Why was there no ultrasound? Haley says because she didn't want an ultrasound. Her story was so vague, I couldn't quite follow it. Either she told Naomi she lost the baby before that incident, or she thinks she may have lost it before, but she didn't want confirmation. She says, I was afraid that if I had an ultrasound, that I would, there would be no baby. So I felt without an ultrasound, because I still felt pregnant, that I could still pretend. She goes, and she says, but my father's walking around with this picture like some proud papa. How did you get that? I printed it off the internet. Of course she did. What did I say? You could get ultrasounds off the internet. And so Naomi's just looking at her. She goes, it wasn't until today that I truly know. And I'm thinking, no, then you would have still been pregnant. And today you would have truly lost your baby. See, the whole story didn't make sense. What happened today? She didn't want to get in too much of the story because she wants to malign Danny to Bill. She didn't want to go all off into, but no, I was pregnant. I lost my baby today, and it's all your mother's fault, blah. But she didn't want to do all that. I was just sitting here thinking, I'm not following you, chick. And what you're saying is not making an ounce of sense on when you really knew you weren't pregnant versus when you were pregnant versus where did the blood come from. But see, Naomi doesn't know nothing about blood. She don't know nothing about Uptown, right? But the whole story is completely loose and just badly spun. So Danny she's with Andre and she's blaming herself. She's the worst person. I caused this. I just knew she was not pregnant, Andre. I just knew it in my gut until I saw all that blood. How could I have been so wrong? You know, she was the one, she was truly the aggressor towards me, but I should not have engaged her. And Andre's, no, Danny, look, you this. I mean, he's trying to comfort her and blah blah blah. So he goes, but you don't even know that she's lost her baby. You don't know that. You're speculating. She goes, you're right, you're right. He goes, can you call Naomi? Can you call Chelsea? No, I'll call Bill. No, no, no. I'm gonna call Bill. And he's looking at her. She goes, Bill's gonna know. So he goes, well, do what you gotta do. So she FaceTimes Bill and she's saying, how is Haley? And he goes, Haley is trying to be okay. She's home. And Danny's like, oh, thank God. Thank God she's home. So she and the baby are fine. Because, see, look, Danny knows the only way she would be home this fast is if there was nothing wrong with the baby. They're putting her on bed rest, sent her home. But if she would have had a miscarriage at 12 weeks, losing that kind of alleged blood, Haley would still be in the hospital. Like I said, they would need to do a DNC. And in order to get the little room for the procedure, all that takes time. You know how long it takes you from an ER to everywhere else? She'd be there till midnight, right? And then they probably would have kept her the next day because she allegedly had lost blood. So he goes, no, Danny, we lost the baby. Danny was crying and more broken up than Haley was. Now that's telling you something. When he told her that they lost the baby, Danny, she almost like went into shock. You know, she hung up the phone on Bill and she just said, and Andre had to, you know, console her, like, Danny, no, it's not your fault. It is my fault, blah, blah, blah. So he's hugging her. And then now she's trying to, they're kissing. As they're kissing, little Miss Ashley walks through the door. This is his apartment. She was just gonna not knock, just, hey, let me open the door. You leave your door open, let me come on in. She opens the door and she sees him and Danny kissing. So she just backs out and closes the door. Now she didn't slam it, but it was enough that they closed the door. Danny says, did you hear that? Or is that my heart reacting to you, right? And he goes, yeah, I kind of, and in his mind, he's thinking, Ashley. See, he didn't see her. And he truly don't know if that was the door closing, but he knows if it was, it's probably Ashley, right? Which I don't know how you think it was Ashley. So he goes, Danny, uh, and no, so now she's trying to take his shirt off, and he goes, Danny, no. With the state you're in right now, we should not do this. And I'm thinking, oh, remember what he told her? When I start turning down what we got going on, then you're gonna know. So she goes, you know what, Andre, you are right. I'm a mess. And I shouldn't just use you as my emotional fix, right? She says, but I don't want to be alone tonight. Andre, can you just hold me tonight? And he says, sure, Danny, we're friends. See, we're just friends, Danny, but sure, I'll hold you. Well, now Ashley's seen this, and what's ringing in her mother's head is he's a playboy, got a woman on every kind, with, blah, blah, blah. And now she sees. And she now knows, oh, this is the other woman? This is who you would not tell me, because he would not. Danny knows about Ashley, but Ashley don't know it's Danny, right? So Andre's going to have some splaining to do. Good, good. So now we had some boring scenes between Joey and Vanessa. I'm not even going to talk about. She does her usual, her spin, and he ends up, letting her have her way as he's secretly plotting to kill her husband. But talk about secretly plotting to kill. Doug is talking to Randy. Just said, look, we need to take care of Joey Armstrong for good. And Randy's like, what you talking about? It's hard to touch Joey. I know, I worked for him. But he goes, he's still only human. He said, Doug, you don't understand. There's a lot that goes into, and if Joey gets a clue, because he goes, no, I'm gonna, go to the police and point them in the direction of the money laundering. He goes, then he's gonna know it's you. And you're gonna be a dead man. He says, oh, you're right. I can't go to the police because that'll incriminate my wife too. So I can't do that. But you and Randy's like, you know what? See, I don't even want to get involved with this because I know, Doug, this is going to end badly. And Doug said, look, after what he goes, I saved you from what Joey was going to do to you. And I'm thinking, no, idiot, everybody was in that room. And it was Vanessa that saved him. And then halfway into it, Randy left with Doug because Vanessa had to seal the deal in more ways than one. So no, Doug, you didn't save Randy. You owe me, Randy. Oh, really? So here's my prediction, everybody. Randy is going to end up dead because of Doug. 100%, because Doug has proven to be the biggest idiot on the planet. He can't think nothing through. I'm surprised he made it through medical school. Unbelievable. Now he goes, what are you doing back here? He goes, I have some business to take care of. See, he still ain't saying what relationship he has to to Haley. I bet you it's her brother. Bet you. It's a brother. She's a sibling. That's why he's risking his neck coming back to help her. Let's see. So then we have Bill trying to reassure, hey, I don't want. Naomi buys Haley's story for now. And she doesn't tell Bill that he's walking around with a fake ultrasound. And that's pretty much all that happened, everybody. It was kind of they just kept going back and forth, wasting time to me with a whole lot of talk. So that was it. So I'm not going to belabor that. Now let's go to comment corner. Let's go to the voice line for comment corner. And let me see, do I have my comment corner? There we go. Let's go to the voice line. We do have 2 callers. Now, I did find the call. Remember, I said yesterday there was another call for Beyond the Gates. I found it. It's from Karen. And also, and you know, Karen, I forgot to put the state you were in or city. And we also have voice mail number 2 is going to be from Carla from South Carolina. So let's go ahead and share my screen and let's listen to these calls.
Hi, Daily Recap Lady. This is Karen. I'm from Northern California, San Francisco Bay Area. I want to talk about BTG. I want to talk about Andre. I think that Andre wants to be front and center in someone's life. He wants to be a real man's man, and Danny doesn't need that in her life. It's what she had with Bill when she was young and naive, and now she's neither. If you looked at Andre's face when Danny put down the French cuisine versus other European cuisine, he thought back to how he was opening the world for Ashley versus finding out where he fits in Danny's world. What he's trying to figure out what he brings to the table other than his prowess between the sheets for Danny. So don't get me wrong, I cannot stand Ashley and Andre together, but I do get where Andre is coming from. Thank you.
Good thought.
Hi, Daily Recap Lady. This is Carla Y calling again from South Carolina. So today the show was everything except for I thought Naomi should have outed Haley to her dad and told the truth about what Haley told her and not cover for her. I'm worried for Doug and Randy, and I felt sorry for Danny blaming herself. But I was happy that Ashley got to see what was really going on, and that her mom basically told her that she should have probably taken Derek a little bit more serious. But overall, the show was everything, as is your show being everything. And I thank you again for the opportunity to be able to say something and make a comment. And I hope you have a wonderful day.
All right, that's the 2 comments. And actually, part of it, see, because yesterday's dealt with an ongoing of today, this last comment from you, Carla, was really for today's episode on the 8th. The voice line, when I choose them, because I do have some where people are calling me while I'm doing the recap right now. They're calling, leaving messages on the voice line. If it's for that day's show, I save it for the next day, because if you think about it, when I go to comment corner, all these comments are from yesterday's video that I did. So the comments from the voice line are from the video, the shows from yesterday. So when you call after the show has happened, like let's say today, you saw the show today, now you're calling to leave a message on the voice line. I'm going to play that comment tomorrow because I would not, I mean, right now I'm dealing with the comments from the prior days. So hopefully that makes sense, everybody. All right, now let's go into comment corner. Comment corner. Let me start my stopwatch. Here we go. Tara says, I'm ready for Bill to see the real side of Haley. Look, it looks like it's going to be a while, y'all. Cleo says, I'm surprised Haley wasn't sitting there sipping a glass of champagne because her plan almost worked, except for Naomi and Bill interrupting her. Karen says, hi, Daily Recap Lady. The video cut off before the comment corner voice message. Haley found out where Danny was and picked a fight with her. Yes, she sure did. So she could blame her for the invisible baby. Not my term. I saw or heard it somewhere, miscarriage. Well, she did fake that. We saw it on the show. She pushed and pushed until Danny finally reacted. I can't wait for Naomi to help Bill put two and two together. See, Naomi seems to have been snowed. Now, here's the thing. Naomi's a smart attorney. She should be able to read people. Why? Haley's story was so convoluted, I couldn't even follow it myself. So for those of you in comment corner land that followed and understood what Haley was trying to say as to when she actually lost her baby, let me know. Let us all know, right? Lauren says, I really enjoyed Elon checking Jacob. It's about time somebody got him together. I know. Even though Elon is, a little on the cricket side too, but still, Jacob? Tara says Elon got Jacob all the way together. Sewing Room says, Daily Recap Lady, the comment recorded voice line message did not make this video. Not all of them will. And if it's for, depending on what show you're leaving it for, it'll be for the next day. And you know what? Sewing Room, you're going to have to message me privately so I know what name you're saying. Like when you call to leave your message, your YouTube name shows as Sewing Room. But if you're saying your actual name, then, that will be you. But like I said, if somehow the videos are too long, there are a number of reasons the video might not make it, but it also depends on, are you talking about today's actual episode? Then no, the recording is from yesterday's episode. Dion said, I think Haley is the baby mama Randy mentioned. Oh my goodness, are you kidding me? He does have a baby mama. He did. Ooh, yikes. Then that would mean she has a child somewhere that she's not even taking care. No, because remember, she's been Naomi's friend. I don't know. Cleo says, Haley didn't, I think it's his sister, didn't think her miscarriage out all the way, especially going to the bar to look for Danny. Exactly. Then to go off with a stranger, a man at that. See, Bill don't know that story. Who would hit every red light in the area instead of an ambulance? I hope somebody was filming and it goes viral for real. They need to find out this chick is lying. I know. And then Latrice says, exactly. Haley's a piece of work. I have no doubt that she's going to place the blame on Danny when she was the one who found out where Danny was and approached her for the sole purpose of gaslighting her into a confrontation. I also hope it comes out that she was never pregnant to begin with. Well, let's see. I hope so too. I really do, y'all. Okay, and then Lainey says, this is a stretch, but could Haley and Ronnie be brother and sister? That's what I'm thinking. They are cunning. They're running a con. I hope Danny figures it out. Haley's probably funneling some money to her brother. You know, Leah says, could Haley and Randy be siblings and they're running a con on Bill? Is she and he related to Barbara? No, Samantha and Tyrell are Barbara's kid. No, those are June's kids. Oh, I don't know. Is this a revenge plot? I don't know. Po Boop says, yeah, true. You might be right. And then Carolyn says, Danny's saving grace was that she called Bill. Now this has to clue him in to something. I say, Bill, please look into it. The lie is falling apart. Randy, Sammy's cover is about to be blown. Lainey says, Bill knows who Randy is. Yes, he does. Carolyn says, you are so right. Haley walked up to where Danny and Pam were there at Uptown. Carolyn says, little Jacob got too big for his britches, and Big Daddy Elon checked him. Hermione says, when Haley had her miscarriage of justice, she and Danny were at Uptown Bar Restaurant, not at Orphagene's. Yeah, you're right. Sometimes I mix those up. Cleo says, right, bar. That's where Haley was yeah. What was Haley doing at the bar? She's pregnant and not supposed to be drinking. She supposedly sought Danny out so she could blame her. She really shouldn't be going to Uptown. When they want to eat good food, they go to Orphagene's, right? Belinda says Haley was never pregnant and she put her fake miscarriage into action because she knew Bill would be out of town and couldn't allow him to know she never was pregnant. See, yeah, Bill coming back put a monkey wrench into that. Now it is obvious that Haley, Randy slash Sammy, was it, he said, Sam, the fake name he gave, planned this together and is running a con to get Bill's money. I believe it. Conveniently, Randy was in Uptown and got her out of there to keep the truth from being discovered. Randy took Haley straight home, and I bet they didn't pass a hospital along the way. LOL. When Randy slash, I think Sam or Sammy, went back to get Haley's purse, Danny said, you look familiar. Have we met before? He lied and said no. Danny's going to remember she saw Randy at Joey's casino. Yep. When she and her best friend were there. After today's episode, I realized Randy is who Haley was talking to on the phone when she was asking the person on the phone if they were all right and if they needed anything. Remember, he's in hiding, so that's probably why she was asking, which is the same time Randy was running from Joey and he was hiding. Also, it was him on the phone when Caroline, Bill's secretary, overheard, her on the phone. So bottom line, Haley and Randy planned this coup together against Bill. It couldn't wait. I can't wait to see what happens when Bill discovers the truth about lying Haley. Yep, I can't wait either. Let's see. Hey, hang on, y'all. I lost my comments there for a minute. Hold on. All right, let me finish that, y'all. That was my granddaughter trying to FaceTime me. I said, Grandma's doing a video. Now we got Lucy. Lucy says, Jacob and his pop Elon's scene rocked. I liked it too. And then Black Purple Turquoise says, of course, Haley conveniently tells Bill right at the end of the episode, no, I'm not pregnant. I lost our baby. She needs to sit down and zip it, as we all know how she was never expecting to begin with. And I had a strong suspicion the whole time that she never was. No, she wasn't. She just wants him for his money, life insurance policy, or something. Which, you know what? Someone said it a long time ago, after Bill had that stroke, she may have been drugging him to have that stroke. Yeah, she's got some malicious intent where Bill is concerned. And as I've said before, and I'll say it again, Bill gets absolutely everything and more than he of what he deserves from his child bride of Frankenstein. Maybe next time he'll think long and hard about which pretty young thing he has an affair with, and gets pregnant. Danny was right the whole time with that. I don't want this to push her back to him at all. Me either. She's come a long way, and a long way. She's come a long, was the final get out of his grasp. I think I'm kind of missing a few words there. She's come a long way to get out of his grasp. So she needs to keep moving. She needs to keep it moving right on along as she's been, not paying Bill any never mind. When the truth comes out, Haley is such a debilitating menace, and she'll no doubt get hers eventually. Meanwhile, I normally can't stand Ashley. I can't stand her at all. She was actually useful today, cluing Naomi in hypotheticals. That's true. About Haley's faking her symptoms and her appointment. Therefore, faking this proves she was lying at the end. It didn't go badly. Thank you for the other wonderful BTG recaps, Miss Daily Recap Lady, and have a wonderful weekend. See you back on Monday for another fresh new week of reviews. You know what's interesting? If Bill even went with her to one of her OB appointments after the fact and talked to the doctor while Haley's in the room, I mean, he'd find out she never had any doctor's appointments. And then Latrice says my thoughts exactly. But here's the thing. Even though they're married, I don't know. If Haley doesn't give her doctor permission to talk to Bill, I don't think the doctor can. Isn't that interesting? I don't think the doctor could actually divulge that she was never treating Haley for any kind of pregnancy. That's interesting. The only way that could kind of come out, you know how sometimes your medical bills are mailed to your house, right? Or maybe Haley's logged into her online portal and she walks away and Bill happens to come in and see it on the laptop, and then he's able to see, because otherwise I don't know how he would actually really ever find out that she was not pregnant. The only way would be is if he's in the room with the doctor and she can't lie. You know, she can't make it all up. That was interesting, everybody. All right, so I will be back on Monday with another daily recap of BTG Beyond the Gates.